Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Clues, Cues and Reviews, and we're looking at today Black Clover. It is later than I'd liked it to do, but what can you do in these circumstances? Release time, UK time, there's always a big difference. But anyway, to explain my point with that, Black Clover is inconsistent in terms of its release schedule. It is released on a Thursday evening prior to 10 or 11 p.m. UK time. I will do the review during that day. Unfortunately, if it's released later than that, obviously because of UK time, it might be different to American time, but if it's released quite late in the UK time, I have to do it after work, which is normally going to be 6 p.m. UK time onwards. The good thing with that is if you're in the US, it's probably going to be lunchtime when I do get the review out, so it's not that bad. To give you an update of things that have been going on in my channel and my series, my 6 main series that I've always wanted to cover is 7 Deadly Sins, Fairy Tail, One Piece, Black Clover, My Hero Academia and World Trigger. 2 of them are basically on hiatus at the moment due to mangaka health reasons, and things that have kind of fallen to the wayside recently have been Promised Neverland, Hinamaru-Zuma, Fire Brigade of Flames. Monthlies that I were covering was Dragon Ball Super and Platinum End, and I will endeavour to really get them up to date. Plan is Platinum End this weekend, and at some point Promised Neverland. I was hoping to do it today, but after a long day of work, crazy amounts of struggle to get home because of bad weather, shopping and everyone going crazy for Christmas, I will look to endeavour to do that. Might not be today like I initially planned. Anyway, let's move on to Black Clover, which I also will do the anime when it comes out, as with other stuff. Look, things to look out for in the next year: Haikyuu, Food Wars, One Punch Man, The Demon's Plan, Attack on Titan. If I can find Spring Weapon number 1 as well as Amalgam of Distortion, I will do those, and also invest more time into monthly because Attack on Titan is amazing right now. I just don't do reviews. Anyway, moving on to the review. So the chapter as a whole for me was convenient to say the least. I enjoyed it. I was happy with the outcome to a certain degree. Wasn't the best chapter, and a lot of people are going to be split on this in regards to how good it was, but there were points I want to discuss. Anyway, I'll go on summarize what I thought of the chapter. So, as we know, Mars makes his move. He essentially intercepts what Randall is doing, or Randross is doing. So many different translations to his name. I don't know which one to go with. But anyway, so the main kind of key element you've got to understand for this, for me, is there's a difference of opinion, which is a good thing because it shows that every people or every person from the Diamond Kingdom doesn't necessarily have to do things the same way. They don't have the same will. They have maybe the same main goal, but they want to go about it in their own ways. And again, re-emphasizing the point that Mars just wants to do what he needs to do to get the job done for his king, or the leader who's failing in health and getting old and probably going to die. He's not there to kill innocents, so he has a honor code, a warrior code, which I can appreciate and I actually like in the character, being that he's quite powerful, he's talented, and he's willing to do the right thing where the situation arises. At the same time, Randross is saying that you got to understand at the same point, these people are traitors, and he wants to kill everybody anyway, the psychopath. And the good thing I like about Randross is he's a powerful dude, but he likes to fight strong people. So it's kind of like the Jack the Ripper counterpart from the Diamond Kingdom. So I like that to a certain degree, and there's a degree of jealousy and the fact that he, basically Mars found everything easy, Randall struggles. So the fact that he's got an ability now is kind of like saying Asta went really crazy, and he found ways to kind of really let loose, I guess. So that was one thing. I like the fact that Mariella stepped in when she did, but I didn't like that she was nearly going to die. What this shows you from a storytelling point of view is, although she's powerful, she's got these ninja tactics practically, there are certain beings she can't deal with in a head-on fight, and ultimately that leads back to the idea of strategy, which is important in any fight, to make sure you use your strengths and expose the weaknesses of your enemy to basically do your thing and win. Speaking of weakness, we find out what the weakness of this person is, Randross. He has a limited amount of power he can absorb, bearing in mind he's got OP power, the fact that he can reflect anything, and basically anti-magic, which is surprising because he to Fanzel because he's like, how the hell did you know about that? So I'm assuming there's a gap of knowledge in terms of how Mars' encounter with Asta went. Now, the problem I think with this was the convenience factor of it. It was like, oh, if we got a spirit's energy or we got anti-magic, we can beat him. Well, on the other side of the forest, there is anti-magic and there is a spirit beast. How convenient! And they happen to go there and they do the thing, and you know, basically the outcome of the battle has yet to be decided, but it's going to damage him unless he comes out even stronger. But it's an interesting and a convenient plot point, really, from a storytelling point of view. I'm happy they did it for the reaction, and I'll get to that in a second, but I found it convenient. Okay, anyway, what part I liked most was Asta's reaction. He was, what are you doing with that sick looking guy? And basically it's Mars he's talking about, because Mars has that straight face and he's had that experience with him. I just found that really funny, just his reaction to that, and I'm looking forward to when they animate these, whenever this might be, but I really enjoyed it. I just thought that was funny. The reflection thing was cool, and the fact that Fanzel kind of used his wind to adjust and get into his enemy's path was all brilliant. Fana's still hanging in there. She's one tough cookie. I must give her that. She's powerful, she's tough, she's determined, and she's not going to go down easily. I really like that from an enemy, because that brings out the best of Asta and the crew. So that was brilliant. Now, the important thing for this, and I think this is one key thing that stuck out to me in this chapter, was something that Fanzel said to Mars or Marth, whichever way you want to refer to his name, was, he goes, Randros is right, but your memories aren't. Of course, this is kind of ad-libbing a little bit and changing the wording a little bit, because there must have been something else in between, and it's all about translation. But that meaning can mean so many different things. To explain, if the memory and this thought of justice that Mars has is based on potential artificial memory, this could lead and open up a can of worms when it comes to certain storylines in the future. So for example, if that memory of that whole process and them being taught and all that stuff was a figment of their imagination, kind of like an artificial memory program into the brains of young students in the Diamond Kingdom, kind of like a virtual reality type of thing, how does this impact the testing and the people's memories and the attitudes they have on the back of this insertion of a memory? So if you think about it this way, who's not to say that all the memories that all these Diamond Kingdom agents and generals and people have not just been artificially put in there so that they have a negative opinion of Clover Kingdom, so that they effectively carry out their will more effectively. In a sense, they could be using this technology to create the perfect killer. And when you look at it from that point of view, is Randros really that bad? He's only really following orders that were kind of made into him, and that might not be his true self. So it kind of is like robotic programming and manipulation, and the idea, if that is to be the case of how I'm looking into this, it's a scary thought. At the same time, if you take that concept and put it across to the people of the third eye, who's not to say that the people that have these memories of betrayal and the killing of clans of demons and all this other thing, what if that's all fake? What if all this has been done by the Diamond Kingdom to create magicians, mages, wizards, and people like that to hate the Clover Kingdom and to take it over? What's to say that's not the case? So that specific thing has really stuck with me, and I'm interested to see if that's just a scanulation thing, or is it something that they're foreshadowing right now that could be a really big element in the future. So that is something I want to leave this review on. It's dragged on for long enough as it is. I hope you really enjoyed the points I made here and my thoughts in this review. I hope you enjoyed the chapter and follow the series as always. Thank you very much for your support, for continuing to watch, subscribe, comment, and share it with your friends. Please continue to do so. Share it with your friends if you think it's going to add any value to their viewing pleasure. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. As always, have a lovely day, have a lovely weekend, and have an enjoyable Christmas and New Year. Till next time, peace.